Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my subscribers lesson about IELTS exam. It's Monday morning here in the UK and our local time is 6:30 a.m. Once again, I'm with my subscribers class. Hello, Thank. Welcome. Hello, Jara Sant. Welcome. So, dear viewers, as you might be aware, IELTS exam is one of the internationally recognized exams through which you can study or migrate to any English-speaking countries. It's really very important for you being an IELTS candidate or English learner. Sometimes we need to develop our specific target, and through IELTS that is only possible. And more or less, when you register for the exam or when you like to develop your English, sometimes you try the different techniques, different rubrics, or information about the IELTS exam. Okay. Hello, Falcon. Welcome. My pleasure to see you. Hello, Jarasant says, in how many days English can be learned? If you don't practice, maybe never. You cannot learn in few days, unfortunately. Ask yourself for how many years you've been learning. Don't say days. And more or less, people start learning English from the school, primary school or secondary school, where they learned reading, writing, but in many countries they do not practice speaking, especially when English is a second language. But it depends on a strong wish and desire, which will help you develop it. If you practice, maybe you can learn it quickly. Falcon says, I understand, but I can't talk. That's a good sentence, though. Jarasan says, Hindi to English, no. We do not allow any other language other than English on this app, Jarasan. This is for information. We have got strong code of conduct, policies and guidelines. Under any circumstances, we do not allow any other language other than English. If somebody is using other language, we always inform them you shouldn't use it. Please only use English. Okay, so that is the answer of your question. If somebody speaks in their native language, we always inform them, look, this is not the rule, please speak in English. This is our code of conduct. And if somebody reports you that you're not following the guidelines or code of conduct, then we can check your live stream and we can inform you. Okay, so that is the answer of the questions. Hello, Hamid, welcome. I'm just inviting you. So once again, dear viewers, if you're watching for the first time, you may have the opportunity to take 2 free lessons from my classes. I'm offering 2 free trial lessons for everyone. Hello, Hamid. Can you hear me? Walaikum salam, Hamid. Are you there, Hamid?
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Hi, sir. How are you doing?
I'm quite good. Thanks for the question. How about you?
Hello.
Yes, can you hear me?
Actually, my internet connection is poor because I am from Kashmir.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm listening.
Actually, I am from Kashmir, from India-occupied Kashmir. There is an internet issue. That is why I may not be able to hear you clearly.
that will be really a problem for the classes. If you can't hear me, if you can't answer my questions, then it will be difficult for me to continue communication with you.
Would you mind if I asked you a question? Actually, I was reading a subjective mood. There is a question. Let me present two examples. One is, if I were you, I would have helped him, or something like that. Second, if I say, if I had been you, I would have helped him. Could you please explain to me what is the difference between the two? If I had been you and if I were you. Both are two subjective modes. Both can be represented if we have to represent a hypothetical situation. So can you please differentiate between the two?
I think you asked these questions yesterday in my public live stream when I was
Yes, but
ending.
yeah. But I couldn't get a clear justification for this answer. Could you please tell me the difference between if I had been you and if I were you? Both are used in hypothetical situations. But what actually is the difference between the two?
Okay. All right. So why are we learning this grammar? This is my first question.
Actually, I someone asked me this question. I was when I was in Saudi Arabia. I don't know where the guy was from. I didn't know the answer of this question at that time, so I keep on searching on internet about this, but I couldn't find any answer to this question. Although I have questioned some native speakers, but they didn't know about this topic. They say we use if I were you, we don't use if I had been you.
Yeah. Okay. Both are, you know, part of the subjunctive mood or hypothetical situation when something never happened, but we just assumed, we just thought that, like, yeah, if I were you, I wouldn't ask this question. Number one. Okay. The main
Okay,
matter of this kind of sentence is that it is an imaginary situation and we are guessing, and there is no time frame in this sentence. But if somebody says that if I had been you, or if I had been you in that incident, I could have helped you straight away. The main difference
okay.
of these two sentences is only
If
the
I understand you clearly, it means if I had been you can be used in a particular situation, where
right.
me being you in a particular situation. Whereas if I were you is for the general situation, for me
That's
being
right.
you.
That's right. Yeah.
Whole lot.
Like another example is
Okay,
like if I were a bird, I would travel all over the countries by flying.
okay.
Okay.
But there is, sir, also a mixed conditional which confuses a student a lot. You use second and third conditional mixed.
By the
If I were you,
Hamid,
I
are you?
would help you.
Sorry to ask you. Are you a teacher, by the way? Do you teach grammars somewhere?
No, actually, if you ask me, I have never learned English from anywhere, but most of the time people asked me, how can we use this? Can we use that?
Hmm.
So I need to keep on searching internet in order to question them, in order to answer their questions.
Okay. A person will ask only to those person who is a teacher. I reckon maybe you're helping someone else, or maybe you teach grammar.
No, but how did you find my English? If you asked me, you are a teacher,
Because general
but I have
students do
never
not
learned.
ask this type of question. They don't go to straight to a conditionals because that is an advanced part of English grammar.
Okay. But I really wanted to know the answer of this question from you. I have asked lots of native speakers. They didn't know about this question.
I understand. The reason is that they don't have to learn grammar. The way when you speak in our mother tongue, do you have to know grammar? Do you have to know your own native language? What's your native language, Samid?
My native language is Kashmiri.
Say,
We speak Kashmiri, and Urdu is the second spoken language in Kashmir. They rarely speak English there.
all right. So if when you have started speaking Kashmiri and Urdu, we don't have to know grammar, right? Likewise, when
Yes, yeah.
you ask any Americans or any British, unless the person is a teacher, nobody will be able to answer
Okay,
it, these grammar
okay.
questions, because they learned it.
I have two questions to ask you if you don't mind.
No worries, I'm here to help and support.
Uh, First question is I am not able to understand some UK accent, some UK persons, but in case of US, I can easily understand them. What is the problem? Is there any problem in my understanding of English, or they use the colloquial words, or they shorten the words?
You have to give me an example so that it is clear for me. Do you have any words so that you can give me an
No,
example?
actually, I don't have example. They might be using phrasal verbs. And one second question, how did you master as a native speaker phrasal verbs? What about you learning about phrasal verbs?
I learn every day, honestly, because phrasal verb, there are thousands of phrasal verbs, and it is never possible to memorize all of them. Remember, we use
Okay,
only those words which are needed in our reading, writing, and speaking. Similarly,
okay.
as a native speaker of Kashmir and Urdu, do you use all the words of Kashmiri language, Urdu language? No.
No, no.
Okay.
But sir, I can understand you clearly, but why is it so I can't be able to understand the native speakers from UK?
Okay. From the UK, in the UK, I should say, there are more than 30 different kinds of local dialects, and when they speak in their local dialect, they just follow their own techniques. So there is Scouse English, there is London English, Essex English, that place where I live, then Geordie, Brummies, Southern, Northern, Midlander, Yorkshire, Bradford, Scottish, the most hardest part of English. Uh, it is difficult for someone else to follow that sometimes if you don't know these words, because they use lots of local words that we don't use outside of the UK, or only we use during the movies or YouTube channels. For example, I'm sure you might have known, blimey mate, are you after the ball tonight? Now, if you don't know blimey and bottle, then it will be difficult for you to understand what the person is saying or expressing. Okay.
Okay,
And in London, western part of London, we use Cockney expressions, and they have got Cockney rhymes and Cockney words. And you'll be surprised to know they have got a special meaning. Like, hey, where's the lemon and lime? It means the
oh my God.
person is asking about time. Okay,
It is completely different, by the way, if some ordinary English speaker cannot understand what they are going to say.
that's right. And let me give you some other examples, like Liverpool, northern part of England, and their English is a bit different. They say all the car sounds in a different way. Okay, they don't say chicken, they say chukon. They don't say love, they say lube. All the R sound become
Okay.
O. Like we visited there, and the first morning we had this conversation. Hey mate, I lost my money this morning, and I couldn't find it anywhere. Did you take it? This is the way they talk. Okay, and
But in US, it is not happening to me. They speak clearly, just you are speaking.
okay, but even in the US, there are different kinds of local dialects or accents. I should say more than 44 types.
Yeah, most of them speak Spanish. I get to know they speak Spanish there.
It depends on the cultural impact. But the way I speak, because I follow the British IPA, the pronunciation techniques, that's why when we teach English, we always advise that learn pronunciation, not the accent. Pronunciation is the amazing way to communicate, English well. And as a
By the way, sir, have you ever been to Kashmir? It is a nice
no,
place.
I have never been to
People
Kashmir.
say heaven.
I used to visit in the future. I've been to Mumbai and Calcutta.
Please let me know when you visit Kashmir here.
Sure, that will be my pleasure if I go there in future. Okay.
Okay, what is it like to be a Muslim in the UK?
It's very good. UK is, I should say, a country where there are multicultural, multi-ethnic identities. There is no problem whether you're a Muslim or a Christian or a Hindu or any other religion. Our law is the hardest law and very strict law all over the world because British laws are implemented almost every country around the world.
Okay.
Okay,
You can ask, you are welcome to ask me any question about Kashmir if I know, hopefully.
that's okay because we are focusing on learning rather than knowing a location. We can ask this question in some other live stream. Okay,
Okay.
and thank you.
What advice will you give to me? I have never learned English from anywhere. Do I need to improve anywhere?
If you are using or learning English for the first time, disclaimer: you must have some basic education. Otherwise, it will not be possible for you to learn and develop. Because if you don't know how to read
Yeah,
a
actually, I
sentence,
have did my graduation in chemistry recently, but I have never learned English from anywhere as there is no background of English. If your teacher can teach you in Kashmiri language, but they rarely speak English. I don't know how I am able to speak English, but I really wanted to know from you. I want your advice. What you are going to recommend me? What should I do? Where should I improve my English?
I believe that you have learned English by academic books and by reading a lot. Reading a
Yes,
lot
yes.
helps you learn it as well. It's not only speaking. Sometimes when people read, they see that, oh, this is the sentence and this is how it has been structured. You know,
Okay.
okay.
What, according to you, is the most difficult part about learning English?
Pronunciation, phonetics, stress on the word correctly, right place, right time. Because of the
Okay.
stressing wrongly, a word may have different meaning. I'll give you example in a moment. Okay, hang on a second.
But in India, there is a wrong method of teaching English. They normally focus on tenses and grammar all the way, all the time. We are not going to use grammar, and we are not going to use phrasal verbs.
Okay, let me explain. In English speaking and learning, there are four major parts. In part one,
Okay, okay.
your
Thank
fluency,
you so much.
fluency and coherence. That means the way you're talking, your speed, your rhythm, your presentation skill. And coherence
Okay,
means the related part of the sentence making capabilities, how well you can present the sentences. Picture it if you're going a staircase, right? There are steps, one step, we cross one step at a time generally, right? And one step leads to another. This is the simplified way to explain coherence, which means then when you're explaining about any topic, we're making sentences, one sentence to another related topic. Okay? And the
okay,
second part is vocabulary. We call it lexical resource in English language. It has a variety of things inside, like synonyms is the first part, antonyms is the second part, then phrasal verbs, then group verbs, collocations, phrases, idioms, and even some cases dialects. Okay? As you see, when you listen to BBC English or any radio, television news, you'll be able to listen to them because they use standard English presentation, standard English skill. Because it is news, people are listening to all over the places, all over the world, and they have to maintain the standard words, okay, standard pronunciation. So the
okay,
vocabulary, the second part, and third part is wider ranges of grammar and accuracy. Though many people, many teachers, many YouTubers say, hey, we don't need to learn grammar, that is totally wrong. If you don't know
yes,
about grammar, you can't write a sentence correctly.
yes,
Okay? And the
yes.
grammar, if you have to learn grammar, I always suggest learn tense. If you learn tense, then you learn more than 80% of English grammar. And other,
Actually, I have already learned that I read a lot every day.
that's great. That's why your English is quite okay, except your pronunciation, some of them. And pronunciation
Yeah,
comes
I have
at the
a
end.
British, sorry, I have Indian accent. because I watch Dr. Zakir Naik every day. I like his English. By watching his videos, I may have improved my English.
Okay, he's an amazing person, as I know. All right, the last part is Hamid, pronunciation. Now, very often people are confused about pronunciation and accent. Remember that pronunciation is the official techniques how you can pronounce a word correctly with the right stress on the right time, and accent is the reflection of your pronunciation. That's why we have got thousands of accents around the world. Excuse me, but we have got only two established pronunciation. One of them is British pronunciation, and one of them is American pronunciation, and they have got huge differences in many cases.
But there is a difference between US English and UK. When I was in Texas, they used I have gotten instead of I have got.
Right.
There are lots of other words they use, like you use learned, they use learned instead of learned.
Yeah. ED and T. That's right. When did you go
Yes.
to US? How long ago?
Yeah, I wanted to visit Los Angeles, and I wanted to look for my university to do my master's in chemistry.
Okay. So have you completed your graduation recently?
Yes.
Is it the pure chemistry? General chemistry, I mean to say.
Yeah, it is general chemistry.
Did you study organic, inorganic chemistry,
Yeah, I studied both organic as well as inorganic.
industrial chemistry? Yep.
Actually, my interest was in music. I wanted to study music, but unfortunately, in Kashmir, there was no platform about music. There is no art college. Being only son of my parents, I have no opportunity to go abroad.
But you mentioned
That's why
that
I
you
have.
have been to Texas. You just mentioned a while ago
Yes, but I was with my family
for a
for a
visit
couple of days, for few days.
to visit there.
But in case of study, I am unable to go abroad because I have to look after my family.
All right. So then it's a limitation for you. You can't do whatever you want to do.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, if you even if you have got a opportunity, you can't leave your family behind. So you have to stay with them.
Yeah, but it is really difficult for them to leave their property, leave their home.
Hmm. And I've heard that Kashmir is an amazing place. Like people say, there is a beautiful
Yes.
nature and the hills, water, gardens.
I suggest you to visit here because Kashmir is the only place in India where there is good atmosphere. You get used to good weather. In UK, I believe there is a same weather in as in Kashmir,
Uh,
neither too hot nor too cool.
we have got 9 months around cold weather. Other 3 months, like now, it's summer. Like June, July, August, September. These 4 months, more or less summer. But even though there is summer, the weather changes anytime because the whole UK is surrounded by different kinds of seas, by waters.
Yes, same in Kashmir. We have 3 months of winter where you get to see snow in maybe in December or January. And in summer, we have always rainy season here. And we have to wear sweaters very often.
All right, okay, that's amazing. And what's the main, cultural programs in Kashmir? What cultural activities do you do there?
What cultural?
Yeah, like,
We spend a normal life. Like we have two festivals here, two Eids.
mhm,
One is after the end of Ramadan, month of Ramadan, and there is another festival of Eid al-Adha. You may be aware about this.
right?
These are the only festivals in Kashmir.
Okay. And how do you spend your free time, Hamid?
I listen to my favorite singer. His name is Muhammad Rafi.
Hmm. Do you also listen to any English music?
Yes, I have one favorite song. It goes like, "If I were a rich man," from Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh, okay. And you said that you wanted to study music, but you couldn't. You studied chemistry.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
But hopefully in future I will try to learn music. I love singing and
do you know how to play
but
any kind of musical instrument?
no, actually I tried to play piano, but as I already mentioned, there is no way of learning music.
Okay, I'd like to show you something. One moment. And you said that you like to also sing, right?
Yes.
Okay, one moment. Yeah, I'd like to show you something. Do you know this
It is
instrument?
a guitar, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, this is guitar.
But I have never played. I wish to play it, but I don't have.
All right. Okay, I've been playing guitar from my country, Bangladesh. When I was a child, I learned from my country. It's really matter of practice and dedication to play guitar well. And I played.
But how many countries have you been so far?
Sorry, how many countries did
Yes.
you say? Okay, I was born in Bangladesh. If you are aware of it, so Bengali is my first
Yes.
language and mother tongue. Then I've been to
Okay.
India, Pakistan, Singapore, Thailand, United Arab Emirates, then Saudi Arabia, and most of the European Union countries, and also a country called the Falkland Islands.
Are you originally from Bangladesh, sir, if I heard it right?
Yeah, I said it now.
Okay. Then you moved to UK.
I didn't move from Bangladesh to the UK. Uh, before coming to the UK, I was working as a pharmacist in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
Okay,
You might have done Umrah there or Hajj.
you know, unnumberable times, numerous times. I can't remember how many times.
Oh my God. Actually, I have been to Saudi Arabia before Corona, where I offered Umrah there. It is a very peaceful place. I can't explain. If there is paradise on the earth, it is in Saudi Arabia.
So, which cities did you go? Did you go to Medina?
Yeah, Medina as well as Makkah.
Mecca. Okay. Okay. I was based in the border of Jeddah city. Okay. So, what happened
Okay.
from my place, the Mecca is maybe only 25 minutes drive by car. And I had many, patients who are Asian patients or Arabic patients who used to drive car. And
Okay.
uh, as in my place, whenever they meet me, they always ask me, when you are going to Umrah, I'll take you by my car. And that's really made me easier to go to perform the Umrah and Hajj. And you're right. Every
Okay.
time I visited there, I felt always mental peace and happiness, the tranquility, the serenity, what I felt. And that really gives me much pleasure. And those are my golden days of Saudi Arabia. And you'll be surprised, when I was there.
You are very luckiest person of the world. You had the opportunity to offer Umrah many times.
Yeah, even I don't know how many times, honestly, because if I remember, on an average, every week, once or twice, we used
Oh
to
my.
visit there because it's very near. Okay, and
But it is difficult to understand their language. They normally speak Arabic there as their first language.
that's right. And I have to learn Arabic by the when I went there for my job. and I was given 3 months time, and fortunately in 3 months I learned more than 1,000 sentences, which are enough for me to communicate.
Oh
So
my God.
I knew spoken Arabic. Still I can speak and understand most of them. But the matter is
How
that,
many languages do you speak, sir?
sorry,
Apart from your language, how many languages do you speak?
so Bengali is my
Apart
mother
from
tongue, English is my second language, Hindi, Urdu, Arabic, and German.
Urdu, I would like to hear some Urdu from you if you don't mind.
खुश आमदेद मेरा भैया, आपको बहुत गुजारिश करता हूँ मेरा because we shouldn't use any other word. I'm sorry. Okay, I mean,
Okay, okay,
so I
okay,
believe
I
that these
understand.
are Urdu, right?
But your Urdu is quite good.
And I don't say quite good. I can move on. I can communicate more or less. And because I was in Saudi Arabia, I had to learn the language. Okay. And as I said, I used to work for the British Armed Forces in the medical corps, and I was posted in Germany and the Falkland Islands. In Germany, I was there for a year, northern part of Germany, a place called Hanover. I'm writing it there, yeah? Hanover city.
Okay,
And this city is famous for, during the Second World War, there is
okay,
a girl called Anne Frank, if you have heard it or not.
okay.
She wrote a
No,
diary,
no,
yeah,
I,
that how
okay,
Nazis oppressed, killed thousands of
okay,
millions of Jews. And beside
okay,
our army, barrack, there is a resurrection camp. We call it Holocaust
okay.
in the his English language. Okay, Holocaust. I'm trying to find out the. So there are, like, in a small place, 10,000 graves were there. So one after
Okay,
another, and Anne Frank and her family were buried there. It is written in both Hebrew language and English language.
okay.
And I used to visit there. It really made me sad when I read the whole story, how and why it happened, and how these people are tortured, murdered, killed, and punished. Uh,
Yeah, it is very famous in history, Hitler, that
yeah,
he burned so many Jews there.
that's right. So what happened? That is the place. They were brought from another city, and after the
Okay,
punishment and torture, they were killed. Okay,
okay,
Holocaust. I'm writing it. It's called Holocaust as well.
okay,
And it made me more interested to know about Anne Frank. So Anne Frank was basically from Netherlands, or Holland, we
okay,
call it in another way. And when I finished our work, then this time we visited Anne Frank's museum in Netherlands. So if
okay,
you may be aware, with the British passport, we don't need any visa to visit more than 143 countries. It's like a port entry. For
okay.
the European Union, they just see the visa and let you go. Okay.
I am hearing this first time that you don't need use visa
With the British
anymore. If you get
with the British
a
passport,
passport,
listen to me carefully. You don't need to have visa to visit more than 143 countries. With the American passport, you
that,
don't need visa to visit more than 148 countries, and British passport is the second ranking. Okay.
but in India we can only visit three countries. But we had to present our visa if we go abroad, like Saudi Arabia and like US.
So some countries you need to have visa, like India. If you want to go to India, I need to have visa from the Indian High Commission here in London. If I want to visit
Yes,
Saudi
same.
Arabia, we need to have the visit visa or the Ziara visa from Saudi Embassy.
Yes,
But
yes.
most of the Western countries, like you say, USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, European countries, African countries, as many as 143 countries, you don't need to have visa. So they will ask you at the airport, how much money have you got? And if you say, I have got $2,000, then they'll give you 14 days visa, visit visa. Okay.
Okay,
For visiting, you don't have to get visa. All right, so you need to check before you travel with the British passport which countries you can go freely without needing a
Okay.
visa. You can stay those country 90 days without having any kind of visa. But if you want to stay more than 90 days, in that case, you need to apply for the visa so they can issue a visa. Okay.
Okay.
And also, there are some other facilities, with the British, actually, with the most of the Western passports, I should say, not the British passport, like Canadian or the American passport or Australian, New Zealand passport. It's the
Mhm.
government's responsibility for your safety and security. So they always advise. So if you're visiting outside of your own country, you must inform the local consular office or the High Commission because your protection is our duty.
Yes. But in India, you have just to take your passport and your visa from another country which you are visiting to, and that is it. There is no extra security.
I
They
understand.
don't give you.
Sometimes it depends on the government's policy, Hamid.
Mm.
So,
Yes, yeah.
so government should, I believe that have a more focus on its citizens, its well-being, its development and safety and security.
Yes.
All right. So
Okay.
these are the countries I visited. I should say maybe 16, 17 countries or more. But I have not visited yet Canada or America and Australia, New Zealand. I have a plan to visit there. But as a matter of fact, when you visit to those countries, you need to have lots of money because you need to buy tickets, hotel, food.
But sir, I want you to visit Kashmir because I want to spend more time with you.
If I
Having a bad internet connection, I am unable to uh, listen you sometimes.
is it breaking?
Sometimes it is breaking.
Okay. I can see you have written something on your
I wish
display
I
photo.
had your phone number so that we can talk
I'm
freely.
that's not possible. Sorry, Hamid.
Okay, I understand.
And I
But someday I will.
and I don't have much free time because I'm always occupied with my different things.
I know it.
I teach on Hello.
But when you visit Kashmir, please let me know.
Sure, certainly. I said to you, I love to visit Kashmir. People say that is the heaven of the earth. I don't know how much true it is.
Yeah.
Maybe you can tell me. And there is an
Yes.
advertisement in the British television.
Yes.
Hang on a second, Hamid.
But
Recently, I saw an advertisement in British television, and they said there is Kashmir Day. What is Kashmir Day? Is it like a Independence Day or
Kashmir,
Kashmir
I couldn't.
Kashmir Day?
Kashmir,
Kashmir Day.
could you please? Okay, Kashmir Day.
What? What?
I have never heard about this Kashmir Day, but I will just check it out for you.
Okay. Uh, so I believe that this is the support and the unity when this Kashmir was separated and got independence, possibly.
Actually, Kashmir has not gotten any independence. There are two separate parts of Kashmir. One is Pakistan occupied, and another is Indian occupied.
So you are the part of India.
Yes, we have to follow Indian government rules. But I am not supposed to speak about the politics here.
That's
But
right. Yeah.
maybe someday, if we meet somewhere, I can tell you the whole story.
No worries. So I think they're advertising some programs are coming soon in British television. So
Yeah, but it is sometimes from the media they spread fake news, and in the reality, the Kashmir is different.
okay. However, thank you very much for subscribing to me. As you have subscribed to me on a free trial, you will get only
Thank you so much.
two lessons. No, still you have got sometimes. Still you have got
Your valuable
still you
suggestions
have
to me.
got
Thank you so
still you have got 20 minutes. No worries. Sometimes it happens. Students subscribe to a lesson and they don't come. Then I have to talk to myself because they can watch it later because it is saved and recorded.
Actually, there is a friend of mine. She recommended me this app. Hey, do you know there is a Hallo app? I said, "What is this?" She said, "You can speak to some native English speaker."
Mhm.
I said, "I don't know English. How can I talk to them?" But I just downloaded it, and hopefully I got to speak to you.
Thank you very much. As I was saying, so it is a free true lessons, two lessons, and today is the first one. Uh, Tomorrow will be the second
Mm.
one, and after that your subscription would be over. You will not be able to join unless you subscribe by your own money, which is $16. You have to pay. Hello.
I will consider of subscribing, but it may require me an international access to my bank account because there is an Indian policy.
Do you have Google Pay in your Hamid? Have you got Google Pay in your
Sorry?
place? Google Pay.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't use it. I don't consider it very safe.
All right. So what happens? There are Google Pay. There is PayPal. There is credit and
Yes.
debit card authorization. You can, buy the Hello Cash.
Yeah, but in order to use these apps, we need to inform our bank,
That's right.
and they provide us international access to our debit card.
That's right. You need to inform the bank. Sometimes bank blocks it.
Yes.
Okay.
But I will consider of subscribing you
All right.
in
And the other
future.
advantages are, Hamid, that when you subscribe to any teacher, if the teacher goes public live stream, especially I go public live stream almost every day, and you can join this public live streams freely, then it will have more opportunity to talk about different topics, especially my
Okay.
cultural live streams. Okay. Like I go
Okay.
to central London for my work, and on the way I take bus, I walk, I take trains, I show different places, and people.
So may I know the time? What time is it? When are you going live tomorrow?
My classes are same time. We don't change the time. 6:30. This class tomorrow as well. And for other public live stream, I don't have any timetable. Whenever I'm free, I go on public live stream.
Will this app notify me when you go public
Yes, if you
live
follow me,
stream?
you'll get the notifications automatically. So you have to click on
Actually, I don't know.
how
I
to.
don't know much about this app. I
Okay,
don't know how to use it.
go to my profile and click follow.
Okay, okay, yes, I will do that.
Then it will give you automatic notification whenever I'm on my live stream, any live stream. Then you'll come. If
Okay,
you're on the app on that moment, you'll say, "Oh, RahatAli is on the live. This is the live stream's name."
okay. But why only I am able to speak? Others, is this opportunity to other students to speak to question you?
Because it is a subscribers lesson, Hamid. In subscribers lesson, those people can join who have subscribed to this class. Other people can come and watch and they can go. They'll not be able to comment unless and until they subscribe to this lesson. Okay?
Okay,
And this is an hour
okay,
lesson, and it is like a countdown. So when it is 59 minutes 59 seconds, it starts countdown from 6:30, and when it becomes zero, it shuts down automatically. So at the moment, we have got 16 minutes and 31 seconds. Now 29, 28. It is going down, counting down. Okay, that's I was going to say.
actually, I didn't know by subscribing you can speak to one-on-one to native English speaker, but I don't know much about this app. But I subscribed to you. I thought that you may be explaining, but I have only the option to comment. I didn't know I can speak to you.
Definitely, you can speak to me. This lesson is like one on one. There is no one here except you and me.
Okay, that is great.
Okay, so this is the advantage. An hour speaking to a person is really amazing. Okay, you have asked me about your English language. I'll suggest you, uh, to learn more vocabs and also learn pronunciation techniques. As you see, pronunciation
Okay,
is the hardest part, and most of the cases we don't know the basic rules of pronunciation. Uh, and that is very much obvious because when we are taught in our schools, in primary or secondary, our teachers didn't teach us phonetics. They teach us normal, simply reading. Okay,
But in Kashmiri, if I study chemistry, if the teachers teaches me chemistry, they always teach in Kashmiri language.
so when you studied your chemistry, were you taught in Kashmiri language or English?
Yes, they taught in Kashmiri language, although our textbook is in English.
Academic English.
Yes.
Do you know what is hydrocarbon?
Sorry?
Hydrocarbon.
Actually, it is the carbon having four hydrogens occupied its valence.
Four hydrogens? Are you serious?
Yes.
It is a bonding
Oh,
of carbon and hydrogen. That's right. Hydrogen is so unstable, it can always make a compound with other, you know, chemicals.
actually, I couldn't hear you clearly because of my poor internet connection.
No, no, that's okay. You have answered it. Hello, Naeem. Welcome. I asked you a question from your organic chemistry. What is hydrocarbon?
Okay, okay.
All right. So, as I was saying, um, if you want to learn vocab, you must read different types of topics. The best way to develop your vocab is that read newspaper. Newspaper is the combination of different types of words. As I explained,
Okay.
you'll be able to understand. When you read a newspaper, you will find the news about the politics, corruption, different political parties and views, number one. Number two, news about the weather forecast, news about the world economy, share market, currency. You'll get the news about the celebrities, about their lives, about their,
Okay.
personal history, biography. You'll have the news about the.
I want one more suggestion from you, sir. Having only option to study chemistry, I was not very much keen interested in studying, but I wanted to really learn my music. What should you suggest me? Should I do masters in music or in chemistry?
I cannot give you this suggestion. I'm sorry, Hamid. You have to decide yourself. Okay,
Okay.
but because you have got a bachelor's degree in chemistry, it will be wise if you go for a post-graduate degree in chemistry related topic. Because if you are,
Actually, there is, I can see it's stupid law in Kashmir. If you want to do graduation in any subject, they have their combinations. Like you have to take three subjects. If they are available, then you can do graduation. In my case, there was only three options. One was zoology, botany, and chemistry, and no other option. I had a science stream in my 12th, so I had to take chemistry, zoology, and botany. But I wanted to learn music, and if there had been a music, I would have done my graduation in music. But I had to
uh,
take these three subjects: zoology, botany, and chemistry.
honestly, Hamid, that is the rule all over the world. If you like to go for post-graduation degrees, the university will ask, what was your degree in bachelor? When they'll see that you don't have any degree in music, then they will not offer you post-graduation degree. They'll ask you,
Yes,
go.
that is the big problem in Kashmir. We have limited subjects here. Even if you are interested in chemistry, and if there is chemistry not available, then you are unable to do your graduation or masters in chemistry. You have to follow only their combinations.
Okay,
Like if there is zoology available, you can only do your graduation in zoology.
but
Unlike if you like it or not, you have to do it.
your limitation is you can't leave your house. For study purpose,
Yes,
people go to another country, as you know. Okay, for the
yes,
career
yes.
development, you have to sacrifice lots of things, and that is the part of our life.
Yes, I will consider that. I hopefully I can manage my family. I can convince them to allow me to go abroad.
All right. Do you watch televisions as well?
I rarely watch television, but for me it is hard for any person to study any subject in which you are not interested. If I say you study zoology and if you are not interested in it, becomes hard for you to study and give your exam.
Do you mean this word? Uh,
Yeah.
I've written down. Is it this word?
Yes, yes.
Zoology.
Yeah.
And this is, oh,
Yeah, geology.
z- geology. Zoology and geology.
Yeah, these are two different subjects. Geology is the study of earth and zoology is the study of animals.
That's right. So sometimes when people pronounce it, it sounds like same. Okay, so we have to be
Yes.
careful. That is the impact of learning pronunciation. Zoo, Z, and geology and
Yeah.
zoology.
Yeah. Actually, in Kashmir, you are going to hear zoology instead of zoology.
Okay, that is the impact of your mother tongue, how the people pronounce it. Okay, but
Yes.
as I said, when you're learning pronunciation, you're learning standard way how a word should be pronounced clearly. Let me
Yeah.
show you 2 3 words, okay, that very often we make mistakes. Hang on a second.
Is it often or often? Many people say often and others say often.
Both are correct.
Okay. Actually, being a chemistry student, it was hard for me to study chemistry because I was not interested in all.
Okay, our common problems of pronunciation is these words. Or how do you pronounce the first word? Can you see the screen?
No, actually, I cannot see my full screen.
My screen, I'm talking about.
Yes, yes, your screen.
What do you see in on the screen?
I can only see my profile picture and you.
Oh, I see. That means when I'm writing a comment, can you see my comments?
Yeah, yeah, I can see.
Okay, so I'm writing a word. Let me see. How do you pronounce it?
Off. It both are pronounced same way.
No, that is the most
Off.
confusing pronunciation in the world. The both are not pronounced in the
Yes,
same way. The first one is,
but in our Kashmir, it is pronounced same way,
yeah,
like off and off.
okay. That's why I'm saying in pronunciation technique, we do not pronounce it in the same way. The first one is,
Okay,
I'm writing it, yeah, and have a look. Ob.
okay,
OF is ob, like parts of it. You're the
okay,
member of chemistry society. I'm a citizen
okay,
of the UK, for example.
okay,
And second one is off, like turn off the computer, please. Turn on the radio. You must turn off all the electric equipments before you leave your house.
okay,
Remember, when you learn a word or a pronunciation, you have to use it. Otherwise, you're going to forget in no time.
okay.
So use it.
And what about off? The single F1?
Ob, ob.
Okay,
Okay, I'm the member of the chemistry society. He's the member of the
okay.
parliament.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. But there is no way to learn these pronunciations in internet on the internet. If you go and search off on the internet, you may find off instead of off.
There is a way. I'm going to explain to you. Okay, and the way is that you go to the individual dictionary website. Don't go to Google. If you're
Okay,
after the British pronunciation, go to Oxford and Cambridge dictionary or the website. Okay,
okay,
I'm going then if you write the word, then you listen to it. Then you'll find how the
okay,
British people say. I'm you can hear me, right? I'm going to write a word in the dictionary. Give me a moment so that you understand what I'm explaining, and try to imitate. We call it shadowing technique.
Okay.
All right. Can you hear the sound?
No. No.
Can you hear it now?
Of.
Yes.
This
Yes.
is British pronunciation of.
Of.
American.
Of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Of.
But in Google, you get to hear off instead of of.
Don't go for the Google, please. As I said, go to the
Okay.
individual dictionary site.
Okay.
Oh, we've got four,
Thank you.
4 minutes and 37 seconds. Okay. This is one of them. Another one of them is this word. Hello, Ayush. Welcome.
And
And. This and can be pronounced as an and also as an, depending on the usage. If it is at the beginning,
do you use this word, sir?
yes,
And
and is used as an as well. Let me explain quickly. If it is in between two words and sentences or before a vowel n, okay, sorry, if it is in between two words and sentences, n becomes n. If it is the beginning of a sentence, we have to use and as an and before a vowel. Let me give you an example, like this word. Can you please pronounce this word? Not
salt and pepper.
Hamid, you have written ain't. That
Yes.
is a contraction which we don't use in spoken English
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah. I wanted to know from you whether you use this word or not.
We don't generally use it. It is the shortened form of am not,
And most people use it for have not, is not, and are not also.
because those are acceptable. But ain't is generally informal way.
Yes.
Okay, as I was saying, and a and d, not t, d
Yes.
and
Yes.
ta
Yes.
and da. Remember the difference of the sound. So in the
Okay.
word salt and pepper, this and sounds like n, because
Yes.
and is in between two sentences, two words. I'm sorry. If it is also in between two sentences, we have to pronounce as n, letter n, and that is the rule. Okay,
Okay.
so this is another one. Another one is the.
The.
Yeah,
It is pronounced as the if consonant sound is after it, and the after vowel sound. The airplane,
exactly,
the social security team,
right,
the and the.
exactly. And also there are thousands of words which are used as a noun and a verb depending on the stress, and those are the confusing words. And one of them is, I'm writing it,
Address. It is address and address, if I am not wrong. These are used in two different ways.
Okay, I've given two examples. Read it, please.
Okay. What is your address? How do I address you?
Okay, you have
Yeah,
pronounced.
but I have heard some. These are two different words. And they have two different meanings.
This is one word, but depending on the stress or intonation or
Yes.
phonetics, they've got different meanings.
Yes.
Okay, the
Yes.
first one is what's your address? We're stressing on the first part of the syllable. Address. That is
Okay.
rising intonation to falling intonation, and we use it a noun
Okay.
or adjective. And the second one
Okay.
is address, which is verb, falling intonation to upper intonation, which means
Okay.
to call someone or deliver a speech. We have got 35
Okay.
seconds. Yeah? So this is another important matter for us. When you learn pronunciation and phonetics rules, you need to know where to stress and how to stress. English language is like a rhythm. Okay, it flows and goes up and down, and that is the natural of
Okay.
speaking. Remember to speak naturally, practice it daily, and I'm sure you can develop your
Thank
communication
you so much
skill.
for your valuable suggestions and having with me.
No problem.
I have learned a lot from you.
Thank you very much.
But is there any option
It's going to
to
finish now.
make a video?
Bye.